Okay, so it looks like we're either going to get a pretty hard frost either tonight or tomorrow night. So I'm going to take you guys around the garden and show you what it looks like before this frost comes through and kills everything. Now we have had a few frost events, but because most of the garden anyways is between the house and the locust trees, it's been pretty protected. So I still have tomatoes and peppers and a lot of flowers growing, but that's going to come to an end here very quickly. So I just want to show you guys how it looks quick. We have my zinnia patch. Oh, little bumblebee. It's getting kind of cold out for you, buddy. They need to be getting put away for the year here soon. It's just too cold for them. Peppers. I harvested them all about a week ago, but you can see I have a lot of new peppers growing. Most of these are not gonna, I mean, I might dehydrate some of them, but we'll see what happens here. My asparagus patch has done really well. I'm actually pretty happy with it. The strawberries that I got no strawberries from did their thing and spread out, which is what I wanted them to do. I will definitely be adding more starts to it next year, but you know, I had about 5 plants, so this is a lot more than 5, so that's good. Flash, are you trying to pee on my plants? That's not very nice. My rhubarb was here. I'll have to show you what I've done with that in another video. Keep meaning to make it and then I don't. This is that lone tomatillo plant that I got, and look, it did actually pollinate a lot of them, even with just one. It's loaded. The problem is it's way behind, and again, I'm not going to get anything from this plant. I think this was too shady of a spot for this, so I might try one again next year. We will see. My glads have been tipped over and done for a while. I'm going to plant them somewhere else next year along a fence. This poor little Cosmo is so close to blooming, but I don't know if it's going to happen, which is kind of a bummer. Oof, I can get around here without tripping. Flash. Goodness. My little grow tower. I have a few lavender plants in here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to pot them up and bring them in the house and try to keep them going for the winter, just because I love lavender, and this is the first lavender I've ever grown from seed, so I was pretty excited about it, even though it stayed teeny tiny. Probably because I wasn't watering it, but shh. Both of my little teepee trellises for cherry tomatoes look fabulous. They are still just loaded with fruit. It's only supposed to get down to about 35 tonight, so I'm going to leave them and hope that everything is okay. And then I'm going to kind of keep an eye on what the weather is saying for tomorrow night. It was saying 31, so if it's going to do that, I'm going to have to come out here and pull everything. Look at, still happy little cherry tomatoes everywhere. These ones are the sun sugar slash sun gold varieties. I had to eat that one. Couldn't pass it up. I'm working on my rock border some more. It's maybe a third of the way for what I can do in this garden. If you were here previous years, I had beautiful rock borders at my other garden, but that was years worth of working on that, so it'll take me a few years to build back up. This little climbing rose I love. I got it for $5 at Walmart, and I'm just gonna kind of trail it along the fence, and I'll probably maybe grab some more colors next year. We'll see. I pulled up a few of the elderberries. Again, that's for another video. If they do well in the new spot, I will probably transplant more of these, because all 13 or 14 that I moved survived, and that takes up a lot of space in the garden. I wasn't anticipating all of them living, so some of them may have to find new homes eventually. This big one will probably stay, just because he's so big. To move him again, I think, would be a bad idea. but a lot of those smaller ones could go elsewhere. I got this little clematis. He bloomed, but some of his petals had broken off, but he's gonna be really pretty. So I'll have 3 different types of clematis along that fence. Flash. I planted some tulips under where the dog is standing. I had transplanted some from my old house to here. They didn't bloom, they might have just been too old. So we've got some new ones to try. These tomatoes, again, the plants are looking pretty good. I mean, you can even see the basil under it is still looking pretty good for basil in October in Wisconsin. And again, a ton of tomatoes, even still blooming. So I'm just kind of trying to ease them out as long on the tomato plants as I can. 1, because I don't really have room in the house to put all of them. And 2, because they're just better when they ripen on the vine, I think, personally. But so many tomatoes still. Here you can see my roses are blooming again. This is their 3rd or 4th bloom, still fighting a few darn Japanese beetles. I wish I could just eradicate those damn things. They eat them so badly. They're beautiful roses, but, and look, trying to bloom more. These ones over here, getting really close. I don't know, with this weather, I'm not sure if it'll happen or not. My potted dahlias are gorgeous. Actually, I'm gonna go pick some for a vase after I'm done with this video because, I mean, hi little spider. I can't let these guys all just sit out here and rot. They're just too pretty. And grasshoppers on that one. Should feed you guys and my chickens. Oh, he escaped. He escapes to live another day. But yeah, the dahlias did fabulous this year. Let's see. You can tell where I haven't gone through and cleaned up. My Brussels sprouts all got eaten by something, which ticks me off. My broccoli didn't do well this year. Also kind of got chewed on. Cabbages did okay. I'll do a different spot next year. I think that was just too close to the house. A little too much shade. I had my summer squash and butternut squash and sweet potatoes and regular potatoes all through kind of where it's empty now. And I got a decent amount for all of those. I mean, not as good as I would have hoped, but I mean, it is what it is. I've got plenty of food. So, and again, the zinnias are so pretty and still trying to bloom. I'd be happy if this next couple days of cold kind of skips us and we somehow get to live a little longer because I'm not ready to be done. So over here I've done the most work. If you can hear me over the dogs barking. I've pulled up my cucumbers, my okra, my 2 different types of pumpkins, my delicata squash, my watermelon plants. I had some other types of summer melons that never fruited. A little too shady for them, I think. And I just don't have good luck with summer melons. Like, I never have. They need to be in the middle of a field somewhere, I think. I could have pulled all these marigolds out, but they still look great. They're kind of in the way because I need all this space cleared. But that's just where they're at for now, I guess, until they die whenever it frosts. And then my row of sunflowers. My biggest debate right now is, do I want to put my garlic patch right there where it's going to get really, really good sun, or do I want that for tomatoes and put my garlic over here? I don't know. I have to come to a decision at some point here rather quickly. But this is what the garden looks like today. It's October 8th, I think. If we get a frost, I'll just come through and hi Flash, take a little video so you can see what it looks like when you actually get like a hard frost, because it's rather devastating when one day everything is happy and perky and beautiful and the next day it is very much not. So I need to pick like a million of these right now. Okay, this is what it looks like after a good frost has finally hit the garden. The leaves are all floppy and sad. The plants are wilted and ready to be pulled up. Basil, definitely done for. Peppers are done for. These will just continue to look worse over the next day. The cosmos are okay, but those guys can kind of handle a light frost. The tomato plants are done, even though they had started growing more tomatoes again. I'm going to pull them up and chuck them over the fence. The chickens will love them. The zinnias definitely are over it. I've started pulling up my dahlias, which I'm going to work on a video to show you guys how I store those in my glads. You can see the plants are just trashed. The leaves are blah. Marigolds are also kind of okay. Those can also kind of handle a little bit of a light frost. Not as happy about it as the cosmos are, but not terrible. They don't look like the dahlias and the tomatoes. But yeah, see, we were having little tomatoes growing again, but I'm still ripening the last harvest batch that I did. So these ones will be for the chickens. I still have a few roses trying to bloom. It's gonna warm up a little bit. You can see how they're darker. It's because of the cold, but they might bloom. I'll leave them out and see what happens. See, this plant has some as well. But yeah, now it's time to get all this stuff tore out.